Hey guys, how you doing? This is Phil Davis with the Brook team at eXp Realty. And today I'm going to share why it's very important if you have a deal on the contract to make sure that you do a walkthrough before you close. And if you're selling your property, that to make sure that everything is cleared and cleaned out of the house before your closing date. So let me share a little story and experience of what happened, why it's so important, so you can get a gist of what to do when this time comes. So I was helping a family out. She was selling her home in Windsor, and we were one day before the final walkthrough. The final walkthrough was supposed to be the next day, and then the day after was the closing. So I talked to the seller. I said, "Hey, did you get everything cleared out the house? Everything out of all the rooms, out of the garage, everything out of the house, kitchen, etc." She says, "Yes, I'll have everything out before the walkthrough is scheduled." I said, "Okay, great." So I called her up, did a follow-up call the day before the walkthrough just to make sure everything was good. "Hey, Miss Seller, did you get everything out? Is everything squared away? Because the buyer scheduled the walkthrough for tomorrow afternoon. I think it was around either 3 or 4 o'clock." She says, "Well, something came up and I wasn't able to get everything out, so I have a few things left." So when she says a few things left, I'm thinking, okay, it was something minor, nothing crazy. She could knock it out in a few minutes. So I said, "Well, what do you have?" She said, "Well, I still have things in the garage, still have things in the kitchen, I still have things in the house." So I said, "Okay." So I had the buyer agent stop by, take a look at the house and see what it looked like, because she was closer to the house than I was at the time. And she says, "Well, there's quite a amount of things still here." Wow. So what I did was, it was around 7 or 8 o'clock that night. I called my contractor. I said, "Hey, I have a situation. I need you to see if you can help me. I have a house in Windsor. I'm helping the seller sell her house. She hasn't had quite enough time. She ran into a few hiccups to get everything out of the house, so the house is not fully clean." He says, "Okay, where is it?" I told him the address. He said, "Well, I'll be able to go there tomorrow morning. I'll grab a crew of 5 to 6 people. We'll go there at 9 a.m. in the morning, clean everything out. The walkthrough was scheduled between 3 or 4, somewhere around there." So I said, "Great, you really are a lifesaver." So I called the seller. I said, "Miss Seller, I have a crew that's going to come down, help you move everything out, get everything in broom sweep condition, and then you'll be able to have the walkthrough and close the following day." So thank you so much. So the crew came that morning. They didn't have to order a dumpster, but they did have to bring a truck where they can dump a bunch of stuff in the back. They did do that quite a few times, took a few trips. They were there the whole time from 9 a.m. to like pretty much close to the walkthrough time, but they were able to get everything out of the attic, everything out of the house, everything out of the kitchen. They still had stuff in the refrigerator, the cabinets, the basement still had a few items, the garage had numerous items. So they got everything out, everything. So that worked out. The buyer did their walkthrough that afternoon. They didn't have any complaints, and we were able to close the following day. So it's very important that that the walkthrough was done before closing, to make sure that the closing closes on time, that all parties are happy. And 2, if you're helping the seller, to make sure that the house is cleaned out, everything's in tip-top condition, everything's in broom sweep condition, everything's nice and presentable, there's nothing left behind. Because if you run out of time, luckily I was able to find a contractor, but if I weren't able to find that contractor to come in and we weren't able to get that cleaned up in time, we would have had to do an extension. And sometimes the buyer won't agree to an extension, and then the deal falls apart, or they may want to walk away from the deal altogether. Just the fact that you weren't able to get the seller wasn't able to get that house in the condition that it needed to be prior to closing. So it's very important that you get these things done. It definitely can impact your deal in one way or another. That's the story I wanted to share, an experience that I had personally, where I had to come and swoop in and get that thing done for the seller and the buyer, so everyone can be happy and we can close on time. Any questions that you have, feel free to throw them in the comments. My contact information will be there as well. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.